Hello students, in today's video class we will enjoy narrating the summary of the chapter The Making of a Scientist. The chapter has been taken from the book Footprints Without Feet. As the prelogue, Richard Albright has received the Surley Scholar Award and the Schering-Plough Award for Biochemistry and Molecular Biology. It was his fascination for butterflies that opened the world of science to him. So let's find out about his story, how he could do this, which book proves to be a turning point in his life, who supported him a lot as he lost his father in a very early age, and what hurdles came on his path. How did he use it for his pathstone for success? So there are two questions for us. We will have to find out the answer of these two questions as we go in the journey of story. How did a book become a turning point in Richard Albright's life? We'll discuss on it. And how did his mother help him? So the actual story of his childhood goes in flashback from the second paragraph. But let's start the chapter with the first news, the news that published in the newspaper. So at the age of 22, a former scout of the year, he excited the scientific world with a new theory. And theory was on how the cell works. Richard H. Albright and his college roommate explained the theory in an article, and the article was Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. Means the famous article published in this journal, and the name of the journal is Proceeding of the National Academy of Science. So how he could do all this, how did he start his journey, how he proves to be as a young scientist, will enjoy this. So, in this chapter, the writer gives a detailed account of Richard Albright as a young scientist. He says that Albright had the curiosity of a scientist even when he was a very little child, as he used to collect butterflies, rocks, fossils, and coins when he was yet in his very early classes, we can say primary or pre-primary, or in generally kindergarten. So, and as his mother says, he was an eager stargazer also, means he had interest in astronomy as well, as because as he sometime he would uh, keep gazing at stars, and he had a kind of fascination for collecting butterflies, and this way his chief interest began with collecting butterflies, though he tried with collecting not only butterflies but with coins or many other things, as I spoke earlier, butterflies, rocks, fossils, but the chief interest began with butterflies. And he himself said in at one space you can see that his uh, probably his interest for collecting butterflies would have been the end of, you can see this here, would have been end, but the main turning point came, as I asked a question earlier, when his mother got him a book, and it was a children's book. The name of the book was The Travels of Monarch X. So, how this book could bring a change? Let's first talk on this. What was the role of this book? So, I'm just summarizing it. So, this book, The Travel of Monarch X, was presented to Richard by his mother. It also it it is said by him, and in this book it was mentioned that how monarch butterflies migrate to Central America. At the end of the book, readers were invited to help study butterfly migrations, and they were also asked to tag butterflies for research by Dr. Frederick of Toronto University. So, inspired by this book, Richard started raising a flock of butterflies. Flock of butterflies means kind of a huge group of butterflies in the basement of his own house. And in true sense, this book opened the world of science to him, as he himself admitted this. And he would closely watch the various stages of butterfly's development from the egg he and then he watched the tiny gold spots on the monarch pupa. He found that the spots were producing a hormone necessary for the butterfly's full development. So, this discovery ultimately led to him to become or develop his famous theory on how cell works. So, it became a landmark of his career, means the discovery on cells of butterflies. So, thus, we can say that this book actually became the turning point in his life. These were the total 25 specific various species of butterflies which he discovered earlier before the book came in his life. And when the book came, then he was engrossed in his research, what we can say. And his previous story is that he was an very eager scientist, we can say very junior scientist, and he was the only child of his parents. His father died when Richard was only in the third grade, but Richard got all support and encouragement from his mother. So the second question was like this, asking about his mother's contribution in making him a scientist. So his mother, first of all, could understand that the boy has a bright mind and had the curiosity of a scientist. So, this all trait in him his mother could identify. So, his mother discovered these qualities in him and gave all help to develop them. She encouraged his interest in learning, and we can say she would take him on trips, she would go with him, she bought him telescopes, microscopes, cameras, and very other equipments. When Richard didn't have anything to do, she would find work for him, not physical work, but that of a learning things. Thus, the mother helped Richard a lot in becoming an intelligent scientist. But for her, a bright could never have become such a great scientist, as her mother opines at one place. Further, the chapter talks about his school as well as his college days. He did many interesting experiments for which he was awarded prizes. Most of his experiments were on butterflies. He made a number of new discoveries. And at one time, when he participated in school county fair, he lost and he got a very big lesson over there. That also changed his direction of working. So at one of his various science fair, at one space, he fails, and this experiment and project were not selected. So he learnt a very good lesson over there. And what was that? Uh, he his project was actually naturally on butterflies. So he got many ideas and suggestions for his experiments from Dr. Frederick first of all. So he tried to find the cause of a viral disease that kills nearly all monarch caterpillars every few years. Then he tested the theory why viceroy butterflies copy monarchs. He also tried to find out if birds really disliked to eat monarchs. In one of his projects, he found out that the 12 tiny gold spots on a monarch pupa were not just ornamental. Means the spots you see on the pupa or these butterflies are not just ornament. There is some internal reason for it. They produced a hormone necessary for the butterfly's full development. So these all conclusions which I am telling you actually are the result of his various strenuous work on the development and path of butterflies. So thus, one when he could not get anything in a fair, when he was in a seventh grade, he took part in a science fair and he could not win anything. And then he was very sad, but he learnt a very good lesson and he realized that what real science mean to him. And his entry was just a slide of some frog tissues, but he could not win anything. And then he learned one very big lesson, that other people who won the prize, their slides were not simply display of something. Then he started to do a real experiment at the next year's fair. And then he could do this all what I read earlier for you, that whatever he did about monarch butterflies and about their habits, or which birds taste which bird for which birds these monarchs taste well or not. So thus Albright did many experiments one after the other, but his theory on how cells work was the crowning glory of his career. That this is the news about the first when I read it in the story. So it can lead to many other important discoveries of him. So this way, after his winning and losing, uh, so with this long journey, at the age of 22, he excited the world with a new theory on how cells work. Bright and his colleague or roommate James Vaughan explained their theory in an article that was published in an important scientific journal named Proceedings of the National Academy of Science. It was the first time when such an important journal had ever published the work of college students. So that was a milestone in the path of his discoveries, we can say. So it was a big honor for Albright and his science friend, whatever he achieved. So that was a very starting line of our chapter today. So, dear children, we could get all necessary qualities of a scientist in Albright, and we can learn from him. As his one of his mentors says, that Richard was competitive, but not in a bad sense. Means he wasn't interested in winning for winning only. He was not interested in winning for sake of winning or to get a prize. Rather, he was interested in winning because he wanted to do the best job he could, and for right reasons. He wants to be the best. So these are the qualities of him. Like he was a competitive scientist, we can say, and but not in a bad sense. He should not run after prizes. He should work for the right reasons. What is the actual and right reason? So these are all the qualities in him, and further it can be said about him that he should be intelligent and full of curiosity. The curiosity is the required thing. Like in such an early age, when the book even about that monarch X did not come to him, before that only he could discover 25 species of butterflies, and he himself admitted that he could have stopped it after doing this if the book had not come in his life. But his mother proves to be very helpful, as she offered him this children's book on monarch butterflies, and it raised his curiosity. So curiosity is again the quality. So all these qualities simply go into making him a scientist. He should be competitive, and you are competitive not in a bad sense, fine, and you do the things out of your curiosity, and there is no need of or greed of for name or money. So this way, a young scientist could grow. And one very important point in the chapter which I could recall was that his real experiment or projects started only when he was first time when he missed winning anything. When he was in 7th class, he took part in a science fair, he could not win anything. Then only he started getting the meaning of real research. Then only he could know that showcasing the things in a neat and tidy manner is not only the science. Science is something when you explore and you do on the ground and you conclude, that is the real science. So after losing a competition, he took it in a very positive way, and this has brought a change in him. So these are the very beautiful points, very important points in the chapter that I could conclude or summarize for you. We will understand it in completely in our online class. Till then, repeat it on your own. Make a good pre-reading on your own till the day of the class comes. Thank you for joining.